And then we are back with more information regarding the cleaning up of the scriptures and what we should be doing. And then comes another factor, is the harvest. Comes a huge responsibility coming upon the saved Hebrew brothers. We Gentiles, we can't go out and teach. They must realize this. We can't. The only portion we can do is sharing. And then we must be very clear in the first understandings of then the Hebrews, what to share and how to share. The rest of the work they have to do themselves. It is a very, in quote, monumental work. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the world waiting for them. Souls that are going to die is straight down then in the first death, inferno, straight to inferno, torment until the end of the age. Yahweh was very loving and understanding, and He had mercy upon His people that saw them in slavery. They were groaning. He had mercy. The prophet said, "Remind yourselves from the pit from where you were dug from." He had mercy upon the people. So the Hebrew brothers then must have mercy upon those outside, because they are dying by the thousands. And then the Gentiles can't do the work. And we understand they should never use digital information because it gets twisted. They must be in person. Must go in person. Establishing camps everywhere in the world they can't. And they themselves must do the teaching. The only point that the Gentiles can do is to a limited sharing, and then point the people to the camp. Gentiles, they don't pray with the people. Point them to the camp. Point the people to the camps. It's the only hope. This church junk of the world is ending. It's ending because vengeance is coming. And it must be done in a certain way. Each person then must make a decision, either believing lies of the twisted Bible and then go straight down to the first death, or they can be part of it. There is no mixing with the world. A person truly saved is always searching, always finding new information, always being with the word that is worthy from the Hebrews. Always also pointing the people to the camps. Speaking of the camps, encouraging the Hebrews to return to their camps. When the Bible was put together, they did omit the camps. But you know what? Came out in Revelation, came out of it. The translator of Revelation was not aware of and wrote camp. That's where they were caught. A simple word, and they got caught. They tried to omit, and at the very end, then camp. That was given. So then, realizing and facing the troubles and trials and tribulations properly, we understand there are camps. And those are returning one way or the other. If you never was exposed to the camps, so begin to be used to it. Because what you believe outside of the camp, if it does not line up with the proper understanding of the Hebrew, then what the Messiah did, then you have no part in it. Must be producing fruit, pointing the Hebrews back to their camps. And it's coming one way or the other, and the problem is there is a reduction of time for the sake of the elect. If we count from the time of the Savior when he was born as the king, the whole timing began from that time. We already are gone on a couple thousand years. It's gone of the 1,000 years of the Hebrew people being rulers in the earth, and then another 1,000 that Satan would be in prison. We are living in a reduction of time. And we don't know when this reduction time is going to end. It was meant that way, so people would not be focusing on dates. They would be focusing on being obedient. But from the time Yahshua gave those couple days to the Gentiles, to the Samaritans, a person can begin to understand. There is the counting from the time he was king, and there was the time that was given to the Samaritans. Lots of calculation starts when he became king. When he was born, he was king. For the moment we understand that he was on his 31st birthday when he spoke with the Samaritans. For sure when he was around 30 up to the 32 years old. Okay, he spent time with Samaritans, and it can be calculated. What does it say? A couple thousand years later, their time would end. And then we are experiencing the reduction of time. So then put your head to work. A couple thousand years minus reduction. Clearly is the time where the Hebrews then should return to their camps. And the giving of this is in Revelation 20th chapter 9th verse. The translator, much later than when they put together, forgot. They did not have focus enough to omit camps. But then the translator got confused, ended up writing camp. And in fact, camps. The camps are for the benefit of the Gentiles, not for the benefit of the set apart. The part from the set apart was they were ordered to be in their camps, and then their task was to rescue the Gentiles. That was an order from the Creator. And those leaders, when in the time of Yahshua, then Yahweh Yeshua came and began to teach and preach to the leaders of the people. That's why he said, prostitutes and tax gatherers are going to be in the kingdom before ourselves. You traverse land and sea to make a convert, then you make the person twice as worse than the first. You yourselves don't go to the kingdom, and you don't let others then enter the kingdom. What is he saying? That they would be so evil enough, they would mix themselves with the world, and they themselves would not go. Then they would not have functionings for the Gentiles outside, and then they would work in such a way that they would deceive so badly that then nearly no person can be saved. There were tremendous consequences when Yahweh was on the earth. And there they are, involved with numerology, and then involved with placing together characters with a certain numbers. Oh, because this number with this number it becomes this, and then if you reverse it, then it becomes this. This is junk. Copy what was copied from the first, from the very original Hebrew, and do what it states. And then be functioned, and then help those people outside. That's it. The camp is complete. There are areas where the Creator has explained very plainly. Very plainly. Understanding a bit His ways, a person can easily understand. He would not expect His people to do what they were not taught and experienced to do. The Creator had showed the way of being saved. He did it Himself, He taught them, and then He also granted them with His own spirits. 7 spirits. What else do they want? But they are so prideful. They want to be in the world, concocted their own junk. And they themselves are not saved, and they prevent the others to be saved. Because it comes in the spiritual line. Any person linked with the spiritual line, they get busted. And they don't go into the heaven. And the heaven means the person then becomes saved, and then a person then won't experience going to the inferno. This is what it means. A person experiences heaven. A person is not going to heaven. There is no heaven. A person dies in the Mashiach, a person goes to rest. Read Yaakov. Much more coming up.